गुड इवनिंग, शुभ संध्या। मैं विपुल बजट 2021 में आपका स्वागत करता हूं। आज फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीतारमण ने पार्लियामेंट में बजट पेश किया। उन्होंने रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर का एक पंक्ति का उदाहरण दिया, विश्वास वह चिड़िया है जो प्रकाश की अनुभूति करती है और तब गाती है जब भोर में अंधेरा बना ही रहता है। तो इस आशा के साथ कि इस बजट से हमारे जो ड्यूरिंग द कोरोना 19 पीरियड जो चल रहा था उसमें जो हमने विकट परिस्थितियां देखी है स्लो डाउन के चलते, तो हमने वो ये बजट का के द्वारा हम वो बीजारोपण कर रहे हैं जिससे भविष्य में हमारी इकोनॉमी है, भारत की इकोनॉमी में सुधार आएगी। तो आइए हम लोग आज डायरेक्ट टैक्स प्रपोजल में क्या क्या डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस में चेंजेस आए हैं तो इसके बारे में हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं वन बाय वन। सबसे पहला जो प्रपोजल है, रिलीफ टू द सीनियर सिटीजन्स। सीनियर सिटीजन्स को क्या बेनिफिट दिए गए हैं, तो प्रपोज अमेंडमेंट को हम ब्रीफ में देखेंगे हिंदी एज वेल एज इंग्लिश में। तो इसका पर्पस था कि इन ऑर्डर टू इस कंप्लायंस बर्डन ऑन सीनियर सिटीजन पेंशनर हु आर द 75 years of the age or above, it is proposed to exempt them from requirement of the filing of the tax return if the full amount of the tax payable has been deducted by the paying bank. This exemption is proposed to be made available to such senior citizens who have only interest income apart from the pension income. तो यहाँ पर ये दिया गया कि सीनियर सिटीजन जिसकी एज 75 years है और उससे ऊपर है तो उनके लिए रिटर्न फाइलिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट्स को एग्जिम्प्ट किया गया है, लेकिन कंडीशन यही है कि उनकी जो इनकम है ओनली फ्रॉम द पेंशन और इंटरेस्ट इनकम अगर है तो ऐसा बेनिफिट रिलीफ है उनको प्रोवाइड किया गया है, एग्जेम्प्टिंग फ्रॉम द फाइलिंग ऑफ द टैक्स रिटर्न्स। आइए हम लोग देखते हैं सेकेंड अमेंडमेंट। Reduction in the time limits. So in order to reduce compliance burden, the time limit for reopening of the assessment is being reduced to 3 years from the current 6 years from the end of the relevant assessment year. Reopening up to 10 years is proposed to be allowed only if there is the evidence of the undisclosed income of the 50 lakhs or more in a year. It is proposed to completely remove discretion in reopening, and henceforth reopening shall be made only in case flagged by the system on the basis of the data analytics objective of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India and in search and service cases. Further, in order to bring certainty in income tax proceeding at the earliest, it is also proposed to reduce the time limit for the general assessment or processing of the tax return by 3 months and also for filing of the returns. तो यहाँ पर अनसर्टेनिटी को हटाते हुए जो रीओपनिंग ऑफ द असेसमेंट केसेस थे जो लास्ट 6 years तक की अनसर्टेनिटी बनी रहती थी उसको रिड्यूस करके 3 year किया गया है और रिटर्न प्रोसेसिंग का टाइम लिमिट को भी रिड्यूस किया गया है इस प्रपोज अमेंडमेंट से। Third, relief for the dividend. In order to provide relief to the taxpayer, advanced tax liability on the dividend income shall arise only after the declaration of payment of the dividend. Dividend paid to the real estate infrastructure trust or infrastructure investment trust shall be exempt from the TDS. It is also proposed to clarify that deduction of the tax on income, including dividend income on foreign portfolio investor, may be made at the treaty rate. It is also proposed to exempt dividend payment from the levy of the minimum alternate tax for foreign company if the applicable tax rate is the less than the rate of the minimum alternative tax. This is the third amendment. Fourth, setting up of the dispute resolution committee. Dispute resolution committee एक सेट किया गया है to produce litigation and give an impetus to the dispute resolution for the small taxpayer. A dispute resolution committee is proposed to be constituted. A taxpayer having a taxable income up to 50 lakhs and disputed income up to 10 lakhs shall be eligible to approach the committee for ensuring efficiency, transparency, and accountability. The procedure of the committee will be conducted in the faceless manner. Consequently, the settlement commissioner shall be discontinued from the 1st February 2021. However, the pending cases shall be decided by the interim board if opted by the applicant. तो यहाँ पर सेटिंग ऑफ द डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन कमिटी सो दैट आपके रिड्यूसर फास्ट रिड्यूसर हो, रिड्यूस लिटिगेशन जो है रिड्यूस हो और आपके जो डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन मैकेनिज्म है उसमें आपको स्पीडी मैनर में वो डिस्पोज हो सारे केसेस. नेक्स्ट, फेसलेस इनकम टैक्स अपीलेंट ट्रिब्यूनल. In order to provide transparent tax appellant mechanism, it is proposed to make the income tax appellant tribunal faceless and jurisdictionless. A national faceless income tax appellant tribunal center shall be established, and all the communication between the tribunal and the appellant shall be made electronically. Wherever personal hearing is needed, it shall be done through video conferencing. Next amendment, tax neutrality of the conversion of the urban cooperative bank into a small finance bank. In order to facilitate the transition of the UCB to SFB, it's proposed to provide tax neutrality for the transition of the UCB to SFB, a small finance bank. Hence, the UCB shall not be required to pay capital gains for the asset transferred to the SFB. Next, proposed tax incentive for the affordable housing and affordable rental housing project. In order to incentivize purchase of the affordable house, it is proposed to extend the eligibility period for claim of the additional deduction for interest of 1.5 lakhs paid to the loan taken for the purchase of an affordable house to 31st March 2022. In order to increase the supply of the affordable house, it is proposed to extend eligibility period for claiming the tax holiday affordable housing project by 1 more year to 31st March 2022. In order to promote supply of the affordable rental housing for the migrant worker, it is also proposed to allow a new tax exemption to the notified affordable rental housing projects. Next proposal, tax benefit for the startups. In order to incentivize setting up of the more startup in the country, it is proposed to extend the eligibility period to claim tax holiday for the startups by 1 more year to 31st March 2022. In order to incentivize investment in the startup, it is proposed to extend the eligibility period of the claiming capital gains exemption for investment made in the startup by 1 more year by 31st March 2022. और आपके जो स्टार्टअप है, स्टार्टअप को प्रमोट करने के लिए टैक्स एग्जेम्पशन का पीरियड जो है क्लेम करने का 1 ईयर आपको और एक्सटेंड कर दिया गया है 80 IATIAIC में आप इसको क्लेम करते हैं स्टार्टअप के लिए, तो उसके लिए आपको 1 साल और दिया गया है बेनिफिट। और उसमें कहा गया है कि जो एलिजिबिलिटी पीरियड है कैपिटल गेन टैक्स एग्जेम्पशन का फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट, अगर कोई इसमें करते हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं तो उसके लिए भी 1 मोर ईयर का टाइम पीरियड को एक्सटेंड किया गया है। Next, relaxation to NRI for the income of the retirement benefit account. In order to remove the genuine hardship faced by the non-resident Indian in respect of their income accrued on the foreign retirement benefit account due to mismatch in taxation, it is proposed to notify rules for aligning the taxation of the income arising on the foreign retirement benefit account. Next, most important update, exemption from the audit. To incentivize digital transaction and to reduce the compliance burden of the person who is carrying almost all of their transaction digitally, it is proposed to increase the limit for the tax audit for the person who are undertaking 95% of their transaction digitally from the 5 crore to 10 crores. 95% तक आप डिजिटली आपका बिजनेस है, रिसिप्ट है, तो इस डेट केस आपका जो टैक्स ऑडिट का लिमिट है वो 10 करोड़ तक हो गया है। नेक्स्ट अमेंडमेंट, रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ द कंडीशन ऑफ कैरी फॉरवर्ड ऑफ द लॉस ऑफ फॉर डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट in order to promote a strategic disinvestment of PSU. It is proposed to relax the condition regarding carry forward of the loss for disinvested PSU in amalgamation. Next amendment, relaxation of the condition of the tax neutral demerger for the disinvestment. In order to promote a strategic disinvestment, it is proposed to deem the transfer of the asset by the PSU to the resulting company as tax neutral demerger. Next amendment, zero coupon bonds by the infrastructure debt fund. In order to allow funding of infrastructure, it is proposed to make zero coupon bonds issued by the notified IDF eligible for the tax benefit. Next proposal, rationalization of the taxation of unit linked insurance plan, ULIP. In order to rationalize taxation of the ULIP, it is proposed to allow tax exemption for the maturity proceeds of the ULIP having annual premium up to 2.5 lakhs. However, the amount received on the death shall continue to remain exempt without any limit of the annual premium. The cap of the 2.5 lakhs on the annual premium of ULIP shall be applicable only for the policy taken on or after 1st February 2021. Further, in order to provide parity, the non-exempt ULIP shall be provided the same concessional capital gains taxation regime as available to the mutual funds. Next, rationalization of the tax-free income on provident funds. In order to rationalize tax exemption for the income earned by the high-income employee, it is proposed to restrict tax exemption for the interest income earned on the employee's contribution to the various provident fund to the annual contribution of 2.5 lakh. This restriction shall be applicable only for the contribution made on or after 1st April 2021. Next proposal, taxability of the surplus amount received by the partners. In order to provide certainty, it is proposed to rationalize the provision relating to the taxation of the asset or amount received by the partners from the partnership firm in excess of their capital contribution, that is the surplus amount received by the partners is the taxable. और कैपिटल कंट्रीब्यूशन से अगर पार्टनर ज्यादा अगर एसेट या अमाउंट रिसीव करते हैं पार्टनरशिप फर्म से तो वो टैक्सेबल होगा. नेक्स्ट इज क्लैरिफिकेशन ऑन द डेप्रिसिएशन ऑन गुडविल. In order to provide certainty, it is proposed to clarify that no depreciation on goodwill shall be allowed. However, the deduction for the amount paid for the acquiring goodwill shall be allowed on sale of the goodwill. Next, clarification for the slump sale. In order to provide certainty, it is proposed to clarify the slump sale shall include all types of the transfer. Next, fake invoice or the same transaction. In order to protect the revenue, it is proposed to provide that the penalty proceeding initiated for the fake invoice or same transaction of more than the 2 crore shall also be eligible for the provisional attachment of the assets. This is the very good step because the fake billing in the GST under GST regime is increased day by day. Next, exemption for the small trust. In order to reduce compliance burden on the small charitable trust, running educational institution and hospital, it is proposed to increase the limit on the annual receipt for this trust from present 1 crore to the 5 crore for non-applicability of the various compliance like approval, etc. This is a very good proposal because education and hospital industry should be promoted to provide education at reasonable cost and opening of the more and more schools and hospital bed facility. Hospital due to corona we are facing so much the medical requirement. तो exemption for the small trust जिसमें 1023C में आपको 1 करोड़ की पहले जो लिमिट थी उसको बढ़ाकर अब 5 करोड़ लिख कर दिया गया है. 5 करोड़ तो आपको अप्रूवल की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती है, रजिस्ट्रेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती है. तो अंडर इनकम टैक्स एक्ट, तो दिस इज द वेरी गुड स्टेप्स. नेक्स्ट, कैरी फॉरवर्ड ऑफ द लॉस बाय द चैरिटेबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. In order to provide certainty, it is proposed to clarify that the charitable trust shall not be permitted to the claim carry forward of the loss. However, the loan repayment and the replacement of the corpus shall be allowed as application. Next, clarification for the equalization levy. In order to provide certainty, it is being expressly clarified that the transaction taxable under income tax are not liable for the equalization levy. Further, it is also proposed to clarify regarding applicability of the equalization levy on physical offline supply of the goods and services. Next proposal, timely deposit of the employees contribution to labor welfare fund by due dates. Delay in deposit of the contribution of the employees towards various welfare fund by the employers result in the permanent loss of the interest income of the employees. In order to ensure timely deposit of the employees contribution to this fund by the employer, it is proposed to reiterate that the late deposit of the employees contribution by the employer shall never be allowed as deduction to the employer. Very good steps. taken initiative taken by the government. अगर एक दिन का भी डिले होता है तो आपके पूरे जो खर्चे हैं कंट्रीब्यूशन का जो करते हैं वो आपको डिसअलाउ हो जाएगा. अब now no grace period. Next, relaxation in the condition for the exemption to the sovereign wealth fund and pension fund. In order to incentivize more number of the sovereign wealth fund or pension fund to invest in the Indian infrastructure, It is proposed to relax some of the condition for the availing 100% tax exemption introduced in the last budget. The conditions which are proposed to be relaxed include provision on the loans or the borrowings, restriction on the commercial activities, direct investment in entity owning infrastructure. Next proposal, tax incentives for the IFSC. In order to promote IFSC, it is proposed to provide more tax incentive, which includes tax holiday for capital gains income of the aircraft leasing company, tax exemption for the aircraft lease rental paid to the foreign lessor, tax incentive for relocation of the foreign fund in the IFSC, and tax exemption to investment division of the foreign banks located in the IFSC. Next proposal in the direct tax, non-filing of the return by the deductee or collectee. In order to discourage the practice of the not filing return by the person in whose case substantial amount of the tax has been deducted or collected, it is proposed to provide that a person in his case TDS or TCS is the 50,000 or more has made for the past 2 years and who has not filed return of the income, rate of the TDS TCS shall be at the double of the specified rate of 5%, whichever is the higher. This provisions shall not be applicable for the transaction where full amount of tax is required to be deducted. For example, salary income or payment to the non-resident or lottery. 192, 195 and lottery value. Next proposal, levy of the TDS on the purchase of the goods. In order to widen the scope of the TDS, it is proposed to levy a TDS of 0.1% on a purchase transaction exceeding 50 lakhs in a year. In order to reduce the compliance burden, it is also proposed to provide that the responsibility of the deduction shall lie only on the person whose turnover exceed 10 crores. उस पर ही ये applicable होगा. तो जिसमें आप 50 लाख से ऊपर इन ईयर जब आप परचेज करते थे तो आपको 0.1% आपको TDS काटा जाता था टैक्स कलेक्शन. तो उसको जो लिमिट थी, जो अब जो एलिजिबल पर्सन जो डिडक्ट करेगा TDS, वो इसकी अगर टर्नओवर एक्सीड 10 करोड़ अगर है तो वही वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डिडक्शन होगा ओनली. नेक्स्ट अमेंडमेंट, substitution of the authority for the advance ruling with board for the advance ruling. To ensure faster disposal of the cases, it is proposed to replace the authority for advance ruling with a board for the advance ruling. It is also proposed to provide appeal against the order of the such board to the High Court. Next, alignment of the minimum alternate tax for advance pricing agreement and secondary adjustment. In order to provide relief to the taxpayer in whose case MAT liability has arisen in the year of the repartition on account of the advance pricing arrangement or secondary adjustment, it is proposed to provide relief by aligning the MAT provision with the year of the taxability of such income. Next, exemption for the leave travel concession. In order to provide relief to the employees, it is proposed to provide tax exemption to the amount given to an employee in lieu of the LTC subject to incurring of the specified expenditure. Next, increase in the safe harbor limit for the primary sale of the residential units. In order to incentivize home buyers and real estate developers, it is proposed to increase safe harbor limit from the 10% to 20% for the specified primary sale of the residential units. तो सेफ हार्बर लिमिट प्राइमरी सेल ऑफ रेसिडेंशियल यूनिट प्रपोज इंक्रीज क्या है आपका 10%, 20%। अगर आपका स्टाम्प ड्यूटी वैल्यू, सर्किल रेट और उसका प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यू 20% तक अगर आपका वेरी करता है, 20% के बीच में अगर रहता है, तो आपको वो प्राइस आप चूज कर सकते हैं। अगर कम है तो कम प्राइस चूज कर सकते हैं। अजय, आपका वो कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन बनेगा। तो ये 20% का वेरिएशन, पहले 5% था, फिर नेक्स्ट 10% इंक्रीज किया गया और 10% बाद 20% बढ़ाया गया। तो 20% का आपको सेफ हार्बर लिमिट आपको दिया जा जाएगा। और मिसलेनियस में देखते हैं आप नेक्स्ट प्रपोजल, मिसलेनियस प्रोविजन। It is proposed to make consequential amendment in the provision relating to the processing of the return for allowing certain deduction and to the provide clarification for the adjustment of the income reported in the audit report. Next, it is also proposed to enable insurance of the notice for calling of the returns by the prescribed authority. And next, it is proposed to empower the board to relax the rule relating to the defective return for a class of the taxpayer and to the align due dates of the return for certain taxpayer. It is proposed to clarify the limited liability partnership shall not be eligible for the presumptive tax for professionals. And next, it is proposed to define the term liable to tax to provide certainty. So these are the direct tax proposal in the budget 2021. Thank you so much for watching budget highlights on the direct tax proposal. Thank you.